from your perspective, what values do you think drives ArcPlatforms?
I would say like pushing it 1% better or a few percent better every day.
For those considering ArcPlatforms, what's the one thing you'd want them to know?
You know, there's thousands of code commits and pull requests.
Welcome to the Business of Teaching podcast. If you're new here, this is the podcast where we unpack what it really takes to run a teaching business in today's world. Now, before we begin, Riley, do you want to go over the developments of ArcPlatforms today?
Oh yeah, so this week we've done some, onboarding improvements for chat, chat onboarding, the chat product. And another thing was a notification setting where, people control what type of notifications they get.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a short one for this week.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, do you want to introduce the topic for today then?
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about lessons building ArcPlatforms. So I think that you were going to ask a few questions and I'm going to answer this time around.
Yeah, so the topic, lessons from building ArcPlatforms. So actually I did prepare a bunch of questions today. First of which, what was the biggest challenge in developing a platform, especially from concept to launch? Like what was the most challenging thing?
I think when you started, we started off with a list of features, right, that needed to be there for day one. And the list was quite long, but it wasn't the whole entire list that, design and engineering. As we were doing it, we came across new things, like we call them cans of worms, where they open up and we find more things to do, more things to add to the list. That was probably the biggest challenge in building the product. Now, for getting it into the market, it kind of was a proven product in the market with, in the first industry we entered, tutoring industry. You knew that there was tutoring software already, and we just had to really follow into that market, with a good product that could cover against the competition and also be better. Yeah. So that was kind of...
in terms of the specific system, were there other bits and pieces that you found to be extra annoying?
Well, engineering-wise, setting up the production environment from development was, a bit of a challenge to get that to run smoothly, with every change we make, because we do, every week have quite a few things that we improve, not just only improve, but add into the product. That process, to get that into production on a seamless cycle, in engineering it's called continuous integration, continuous delivery, and that system was a bit of a setup to begin with, but you only have to do that once and then everything goes forward from there.
Yeah, fantastic. Was there a moment where you questioned whether you should continue, and how did you overcome it if you did?
I wouldn't say it was a question while we were, making the product per se. It was kind of known that you just have to keep pushing to get it done, overcoming, a big list of work. All you have to do is get up every day and do it. But once the product was ready for the market, I think, you don't per se say, okay, I'm going to go to the market, and if I come against, resistance, I'm not going to, say, oh, should I continue? You're just should I continue on this strategy, right? With this particular product, I know that when we went to market, we were, we come against pricing, people with pricing. We come against, people that had different sort of problems that we didn't, per se, build a solution for initially with the product. And those people, that changed our product a bit, and we just continue on, but in a little bit of a different way than the original, I guess, hypothesis. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So moving forwards, like, did you involve potential clients during the development phase for feedback?
Well, there was so existing clients that we put on, they had potentially, I would say, a little bit of input because before they went on, most of the time they would be wanting a particular like feature or a variation of how we already did things, but slightly modified for them, right? That was, I guess, feedback from the customer. I wouldn't say we went, and did things that were not customer needed or needed for like the product to run correctly. I would say, you had most of the sales calls that you ran those, and you were always showing a product as it was that day, but you would then go from that to, oh, this is the way they do things, and the engineering, myself, the engineering team, we would be able to really quickly turn around like a feature maybe within the day that customer would then be impressed by, and then join us.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of values, I know it's an important topic these days. People talk about it all the time. But from your perspective, what values do you think drives ArcPlatforms?
I think like we pushed on this product as being, I guess, designed for the current era of software, right? Now, so I think design is a big thing for us, and functionality as well. Functionality can be done, a lot of ways, but our way is to make sure there is the least amount of clicks, the least amount of, I guess, user input needed to complete a task, to the point, we have vision to get it as automated as possible. And, that at that point is a lot better than the current, software for our industry, that it looks older. It feels older because you're still doing, you're not able to have something super automated and quick. And for us as well, I guess another value, apart from that, which is just, I guess, products, that is product value. I would say like pushing it 1% better or a few percent better every day has compounded, right? There's thousands of code commits and pull requests, and the code bases have grown quite significantly, and that's just every day coming in, pushing, one foot in front of the other, pushing it further, getting in new features, getting in improvements. That's super important because the product at the end of the day is like what the company, produces. And yeah, I mean, what do you think about the values? Do you have any?
I mean, I think that's a very good one. Like the idea of compounding, always developing a better product, always pushing the frontier of what is expected, right? Developing new features that nobody's ever done before, right? At least that we've found on the market, especially when it comes to the chat. Like these are things that we want to do. Literally just change what people's definition of a management solution is, right? To build that all-in-one solution, the holy grail, ultimately. And yeah, I think that's one of our best attributes, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do hope that people see through that we're always trying to improve the product. We're never satisfied with it. And hopefully, really vibe with this mentality. And it's one of the reasons they want to join us, right? Yeah. Okay. So looking back, is there anything you would have done differently?
From a product engineering perspective, we would have, I would say, created potentially ArcPlatforms chat first, and then built around it,
Yeah.
and built the product that we have today fully completed around that, just because it would have got us to market, I believe, quicker.
Yeah.
And, you know, considering today, we know just through how we've done things that chat is an easier to onboard solution for people already on different management software. And because of that, if we could have got those people, you know, a lot quicker and moved on and built the full platform around it, I think that would have been a better way to do things.
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah.
Looking back, I would agree. Yeah. But yeah, I guess you live
Chat
and you
wasn't
learn.
even on our radar at the
Yeah,
time. We probably had a long time where we didn't even have a thought, an insight.
Yeah,
It took a while to get there.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess, I mean, hindsight is 20/20, as they say.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's just for the product. I mean, for like the business distribution, we also could have probably put ourselves out there quicker, like more consistently with you know, videos and whatnot. Yeah. Just had a bigger presence online,
Yeah.
which we're now doing.
Yeah. And look, I hope this is the first of many videos that we produce. So yeah, hopefully by the time people are watching this, that's already made true. Yeah. Okay. So next question. So what's the most rewarding part of the ArcPlatforms journey so far?
So I think like seeing that when we started this as an idea, before one bit of code was written, to right now knowing there's someone that is a customer using it, that, and being a part of all that from like zero to what it is today, and I guess knowing as a memory everything that went into it and every decision we made, and you know, the wrong decisions, the right decisions, all the changes probably week to week over a while, and then having customers use it at the end of all that, I guess it's pretty rewarding. Like, it's the biggest thing that I've ever been a part of making as a software product.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, from my side, yes. Like when I'm looking through the code base and just seeing how crazy it is in terms of complexity and in terms of just all the different variations and configurations that the platform can be in, right? You can literally have the platform in so many different ways. You could run 1,000 different types of businesses with 1,000 different types of rules and structures with one piece of software, right? Sometimes it's quite crazy to think of all the permutations that you can, of different types of businesses you can run on the platform. It almost boggles your mind sometimes. You know, you sometimes lose the forest for the trees, right? And I guess, you know, that's one of the things that I really like, opening up that code base and just seeing how complex and how wonderful everything is, and it all works as well, right? It's you've got literal letters on a code base, and then all of a sudden it looks like a piece of software that you're using, right? It's almost like magic, yeah. So maybe that's like a child way of thinking about it, but yeah. Okay, final question. So for those considering ArcPlatforms, what's the one thing you'd want them to know?
Well, we want it to be the first product that they go on to run their, you know, teaching business, and we want it to be the last that they use. And that is something that they should know, is our commitment that it is the last piece they use, because we are constantly improving it to not only, well, today it probably is like super good, but because of everything that's happening right now in 2025 in terms of what's technically possible, we are able to push it even further, right? Just because we can see that it can be pushed, we will keep pushing it. And you should know that, you know, it's going to grow your business from, I guess, 0 to as far as you go, like hundreds of thousands of students, clients, whatever your teaching business has. But it will be the last piece of software you use because it will be at the bleeding edge of everything.
Yeah, and I agree, right?
Yeah.
No matter if you're one tutor with 2 students or run a company with 100 tutors or 1,000 tutors,
Yeah.
you only need that one piece of software to take you from literally the very early days and hopefully until, you know, you can raise money, right? Hypothetically. So yeah, and that's sort of what
as long as they're in business, they'll keep using it.
Yeah. And that is our philosophy. So yeah, fantastic. Well, obviously, to finish off the podcast, we have a tradition to share something that we learned over the week. And last week it was me. So this week it's you, Riley. What did you learn this week?
There was a piece, there's a British engineer, inventor, business owner called James Dyson. And probably everyone knows the Dyson vacuum cleaner. It's the best there is. And, you know, there's other things, there's fans, bladeless fans and everything that he has. But that guy, like, he has like a philosophy of inventing. He looks at the world like if something is already able to be used every day because you're using it, like your toothbrush, you know there's a market there, right? You know, as a business, there is a business for toothbrushes. I don't know how good they do, but as an engineer, he can look at everything he uses in every day and see that there is a big improvement potentially. And if he makes that big improvement, there's already a market that can be sold to. So it's a good way to find business opportunities and make the world better for everyone if you make a big improvement to a product.
Yeah, and I guess in many respects that's sort of what we always wanted to do with the platform, but you know, it's not easy.
No, it's not easy, but we did see a big improvement was possible, and we've you know, done what we've done so far to make that, you know, into reality. And you know, there's even looking at us right now, we can, you know, say it's better, but we can keep going. Yeah,
and fantastic. Well, I think that concludes the rest of the podcast for today, and yeah, we hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next time.